Hello guys, this is Pap from Pap back at it again, and today we have a spicy version of Fossil Fusions. I started actually to mess with these guys back again because a lot of people during the live streamings started telling me, why don't you play Fossil Fusions, why don't you play Fossils? So at this point I said, you know what, let's do it. But before jumping right into the guys, just a quick reminder, if you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it and it really helps me a lot. Let's jump right into the Team Crocodile character, right? And this is what my idea looks like. So let me start saying that I did indeed a fossil deck back in the day. I think it was more than a year ago because we still had like just 7 slots in the extra deck, and it was an invoked fusion. Back then invoked was still limited, so I might revisit that as well. But first I wanted to start with this because since the release of the Relinquished deck, structure deck, I didn't try this, and actually this has a very cool synergy. You know, one of the main issue of the Relinquished fusion when you do not play Relinquished itself is that you need to have the Dark Axial fusion to the graveyard, you know, and to solve that issue we actually played Neos fusion. That was one of the ways to send the substitute material to the graveyard. But now here we have another way, we have Miracle Rupture. So you know, we use Miracle Rupture usually in the Fossil deck because we want to send the Weathering Soldier in order to grab, of course, a Fossil Fusion. In this case, if you have a Relinquished fusion and you think that a Millenniumized Restrict is just a better play, you can just send a Axial fusion and you have your materials for your Relinquished fusion. That's it. So the combo relies, the deck relies a lot on rock monsters, of course, actually the best ones we have, because all the fossil monsters can be summoned with rock monsters, so starting from a rock monster in the graveyard. So we have a lot of rock monsters, as you can see right there, but actually I forgot to say the main thing about the skill. I'm not using Golem Hole, I'm not using the other one, the other fossil one, because it locks you into only fossil fusion monsters that we do not want that. So I'm playing Fossil Warriors, that allows me to play with actually another fossil fusion because he adds another fossil fusion to the deck, and also he adds more fossil fusion monsters into the extra deck, so you can play with a very big extra deck, and that's what I love about this. He also has a Golem Hole just in case, and a Playa, actually a Gaia Plate, and another Weathering Soldier. That's why I'm playing one. Of course, guys, if you have the third copy of Miracle Rupture, definitely play it. I'm playing 2 because I got 2. Triple Relinquished fusion are mandatory, double fossil fusion is enough because the third one is added from the skill, and then it comes the spice. We have the triple Dark Axial, the Axial fusion, because of course we want to be able to summon the Relinquished stuff, the Millenniumized Restrict basically, and then we have the Gagani Gargoyle, very nice. This guy can be a special summoner from your hands when you normal summon a rock type monster, so you can be special summoned with any of the other guys that are normal summoned. Why is it cool? Because 2 level 3s of course enables you to go into Gagani Guardian, another negation, also making your opponent's monster attack to 0, drop to 0. And then we have Doki Doki. Doki Doki alone with one of these 6 guys in hand allows you to go into a Millenniumized Restrict without the fusion. Why? Doki Doki says you can discard 1 rock type monster, special summon from your deck 1 rock type monster that shares the same level and attribute of the monsters you discarded. So you basically, if you have any of this, you summon this guy, you discard any of this, and you're gonna summon another one of this from your deck, so that you have the Axial fusion on the field. You can tribute with your own, its own effect. Boom! You have your Millenniumized Restrict by using it and the Doki Doki itself. Very nice combo. I really love it. And also after you, of course you do this, you can actually use your Fossil Fusion. If your opponent has a level 7, you can go into the bigger guys, or if they don't, you can just use level 4s to go into the level 4's Fossil Fusion monsters that are actually added from the skill. So you are even playing these two guys, the Skull Knight and the Skull Bone, so you're chilling. Don't forget that the best thing about this is that when you summon a Fossil Fusion monster with this and you banish a monster from your opponent's graveyard, you basically have that monster unaffected by monster effect. Actually, it cannot be targeted by monster effect, and that's pretty cool. Last but not least, another little bit of spice is from Tragoedia. This deck actually can benefit from the Entrap, but the Tragoedia is the only Entrap that is level 7 or higher, because when you take battle damage, you can basically attack, special summon this boy. It can be pretty nice. It has a cool effect that is a little bit too much situational, so you can definitely you know, mess up with that, but that's not the main purpose. The main purpose is just to special summon this guy with its effect. And when you special summon this, you basically want him to the graveyard because it's a level 10 and you have access to your big boys without needing your opponents to have some in the graveyard. That's the thing, that's why. So if you're in a meta where of course there are a lot of level 7s and or higher, you can actually play Kairid, for example, instead of this, and you're chilling anyways. Keep in mind that the skill adds a Gaia plate, so even though it's very hard to draw that, it's just one copy out of 23 cards. That's it. Then we have these for extra set cards to pop. The classic combo Phoenix plus Unicorn, because Fossil Fusions wants your stuff to be in the graveyard. So if you have a couple of monsters on the field, you can actually go into the link itself. And of course, that's it for the explanation, guys. We're gonna jump right into the replays. Here we go, my boys. All the replays are from the King of Games rank. We have Ishtaru to begin with, and we have a good hand because we have the Fossil Fusion already. We have the Doki Doki for another play, so we're chilling. Let's see what he's got. Actually, we know what this guy has. It's of course Orchest. Let's speed things up. We know this guy's gonna do a bunch of stuff, of course, as always. They're gonna maybe draw 2. Let's see what they... Actually, now he's going for the Orchestrated Babel, the field spell, because he already had the returning end. So, and he ended up with double back row, the Dingirsu, and the Nightmare. Keep in mind, you can activate the effect from the graveyard away the Babel, so we need to be careful about that. So I cannot go straight away with Fossil Fusion and banish his monsters, because he can just use the effect and banish the Nightmare with its own effect. We need to be careful about that. So I started with Doki Doki, discarding the Axial Fusion to summon another one. So of course the effect of Doki Doki also helps with filling the graveyard with rock type monsters in order to activate your Fossil Fusion. It's got the Divine Providence, wait, the Ultimate Providence, wait, what? So that was negated. We had the Miracle Rupture. It's got the Harpist Horror to summon another boy from the deck. I went with the Weathering Soldier. At that point, I just started Fossil Fusion. I added another Fossil Fusion kit, and we can activate actually both. I went with that, it didn't change anything, so Skull Jaws is here, and at this point, if he does not have anything here, we already won, because this guy can just attack this, and the double piercing damage right here is 2k multiplied by 2, so I just went for that, and he cannot use anything basically. Even if he activates, his only resources was this, that I think was a Cosmic Cyclone. That's why he didn't use that. So as you can see, Skull Jaws is very good with Fossil Fusion. You can just undo us even with the full board. I just love it. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Second duel, my boys, we have a Pendulums. Raging Pendulum, of course. Let's see who's going first. It's him to go first. He's got the Dragon Pit and the Off Dragon. We can speed things up because we perfectly know how the stack works. So it's gonna summon a bunch of stuff, and this is gonna be funny. Look at this. It's got these two level 6. Pretty sick idea, to be honest. And then it's got the Noble Dragon, so it's got a Beatrice to send stuff to the graveyard, and then the Shooting Riser. So this dude is gonna end up with a lot of stuff. Look at this. It's got the Shooting Riser with 2 level 4, so this means he can go into Trishula, and then he's got Beatrice to send at least a Tickle Crusader right to the graveyard, so basically he's got a Book of Moon and triple banish in my turn. We need to be careful about that. I started with Monster Reborn to grab the Wisdom Eye Magician. Any monster will be fine. I went with the summon of the Axial Fusion because I wanted to go, basically I could just go into a Nightmare, or actually with these I could just go into a Relinquish straight away. But of course he used the effect of Beatrice to detach and send the Tickle Crusader as predicted to flip down my Axial Fusion. I can just relinquish it fusion that out at this point is already late, but he cannot change Shooting Riser because if he changes Shooting Riser, Trishula is gonna miss the timing. So once that I do that, I can just use Relinquish Fusion to take actually the Beatrice. I'm not gonna force the Shooting Riser because if the Shooting Riser activates its effect, I can just negate with my boy and suck up. Keep in mind that I sucked this not with the effect of the Millennium Eyes, but with the effect of the Quick Play spell. Then Fossil Fusion, because we're not done yet. School Knight is here and he's coming to the field. He can attack twice. Before we enter the battle phase, use the effect. Millennium Eyes Restrict says no thank you. At this point, we can just attack twice with the School Knight, clearing the field, and then Millennium Eyes Restrict with lethal 4600 to the face. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Third win in a row, my boys, against Sarah and her burning abyss monsters, right? So still her to go first. We have Fiendish Rhino plus Sarah going into Dante, discarding a card into Beatrice, and he's got a card in hand. He didn't mill, but of course he's gonna have access to Farfa and stuff like that. We have again Doki Doki to begin with, discarding the Axial Fusion, going into another one at this point. First Fusion summon into Relinquish it, then Miracle Rupture to looking for another Fossil Fusion because we already have one. We're chilling because we have the Tragoedia. Fossil Fusion, banishing the only monster he has. That was just for that, you know. Going into Schoolbone, provided by the skill, and we can just stop there. He didn't use the effect of Beatrice because otherwise I would have sucked up. In fact, he did nothing. Otherwise, I could have just stopped that with my Millennium Eyes Restrict. He just attacked, and we're still chilling at this point. I just attacked the Turbas from the Underworld. He sent the monster back to the deck, still chilling. He's got the Beatrice effect now to use Dante's effect and to add Skarm to his hand. Then he's got the Tour Guide to summon another Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Another Dante is here. Discard a card, another Beatrice. This is gonna look tough, but just attacked. As soon as we take damage, Tragoedia hits the field, and also we take back the Fossil Fusion because when a Fossil Fusion monster is destroyed, you can take back days from your graveyard. It's got a search, but now we're gonna have a full combo because we got first the Fossil Fusion to go into the Fossil Machine School Convoy to reduce the attack of all the monsters she controls, then Relinquish it Fusion into Millennium Eyes Restrict. There you go. At this point, the Ringside Fusion to suck up a Beatrice. He used the effect. I suck up the same one just because I want a monster to attack to. Discard the Fiendish Rhino Warrior. That's fine. Serious effect to summon Dante back. That was a very cool move because now I cannot go past that. It's got Knowledge to negate the effect of Millennium Eyes Restrict, but we're still chilling because during next turn we can actually take this, use the effect again. So we have the negation of a monster's effect. He's got the summon of Virgil, but I can just attack that as well because School Convoy can attack all. Actually 3 monsters my opponent controls, so we're chilling. He is left with very low life points, a couple of sad cards that wasn't expected. Then he went with the summon of Lebech just to get rid of Eyes Restrict because otherwise he can't do nothing. Tragoedia's effect again to be special summoned, and at this point I drew a Miracle Rupture again to get another Fossil Fusion. I drew a card thanks to the effect of Miracle Rupture that says that if you have a Fossil Fusion in your graveyard, you can actually draw a card, and I drew into a Weathering Soldier. It's gonna be crucial for this duel. I summon it because I have my normal summon, then Fossil Fusion into the level 6 School Knight, banishing is Virgil from the graveyard, so this guy's unaffected, is untargetable by monsters effect. Boom! Karma Cut to begin with is not done yet, Sir to summon a Dante, then boom! Regeki Break on my other Fossil Fusion guy, and Olich to negate effect, but still we have Weathering Soldier to go for lethal. What a duel this was! That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. For Duel, my boys, some Raid Raptors, I guess, and it's got actually it's Cosmo. It's not Raid Raptors, so I didn't have that much of a turn one. I mean, I can still go into Relinquished Fusion. I'm just waiting. He decided not to attack. That's fine. Now I have my end trap, so I'm chilling. And we have the Gargoyle to summon, and he's got Crackdown to stop me. I went straight away with the Relinquished Fusion in order to avoid the Crackdown to get the result. There you go. Relinquished Fusion can now suck up thanks to its effect from the graveyard. And then Nightmare Phoenix to go into the set card. That was actually not a good move because he had back to the front to summon that back on the field. But we still have the Monster Reborn to take back the Relinquished, the Millenniumizer Restrict, just in case he activates some effect. So we're sitting on that. He's got the Darkle to pop everything, of course, and then a set card. So we got another Axel Fusion, and that's a very good draw because we have another Relinquished Fusion ready just in case. He's got another sad monster. At this point, Fossil Fusion, perfect draw in this point, in this case, to go into Skull King in order to have double attack and thus a little. There you go, I popped that, increasing damage. Ice Dragon Prison to save himself, but guess what? Relinquished Fusion to banish his target, so he cannot banish anything. I still have another Millenniumizer Restrict, so there you go. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Last but not least, we have Destiny Heroes against, and reinforce Aurora to begin with a Celestial. So Drill Dog, so he's got, let's speed things up. He's got, of course, the special summon, then the double summon of Malicious. Let's see what he's going. He went with the second Malicious, polymerization into Dystopia, recycling the polymerization with the Wonder Driver, and then he's got basically it. He's got an interruption plus 3 back rows. We got the Axial Fusion to begin with, going with the Gargoyle, and I just decided to go into Millenniumizer Restrict in case he uses the effect of Dystopia. Then Mirror Rapture to look for Fossil Fusion thanks to the effect of Weathering Soldier. This point, there you go. Fossil Fusion to banish the last Malicious, so we are going to Skull Knight, and at this point we actually cannot do that much apart from attacking the Wonder Driver. He went with the effect of Crackdown to steal that, still chilling, then Dystopia, and he wanted to pop this, but of course Skull Knight cannot be targeted by monster's effect because he was special summoned with the monster from both graveyards. So there you go, I could just get rid of Wonder Driver, and he had to pop my the Ice Restrict, so he went with Celestial double draw, polymerization into Dangerous, and now he can just boost himself up, but at least actually he forgot again that he cannot use the effect of Dystopia twice. He popped his own cards. It was a needle selling, but Tragoedia saved the day. Actually, this was lethal otherwise. A nice Tragoedia save, and then we have the Fossil Fusion recycled. First effect of Skull Knight to banish stuff from the graveyard to pop a monster was Dystopia, then a Fossil Fusion banishing the Dystopia to go into Skull King, that of course alone it's just lethal. You can attack twice, that's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Of course, guys, you can improve these stack lists by playing even some back rows, some limited tree. You can actually increase the number of cards you play. I'm going with this because, of course, you know, I want to give you the spicy core of the stuff without the steeples. Love this thing. I really love Relinquished Fusion, to be honest, in first place. But with Fossil Fusion, you have something to finish him off, because Fossil Fusion is all about finishing your opponent, but of course he lacks of defensive plays, of interruption plays, and those are given by the Gagani Guardian and of course the Millenniumizer Restrict stuff. So guys, that was all for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and of course if you have some questions, don't be afraid to drop them in the comment section down below as well. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.